All right. So today's episode of what's going on in the garage, in the Larry Broward garage. So in the previous video I posted, I getting ready to disassemble the kayak, which I did. I took pretty much everything off, and then I found that there was a mouse condo. It was just, anyways. The more pressing issue is this crack right here, which I'm gonna try to see if I can, you know, zoom in here for you guys. No, it doesn't. I don't. I'm not that good when it comes to recording. Anyways, it's right here. Okay, and it goes all the way through. All right, and so I was watching a couple videos on how to go about fixing this crack here. So let's talk about a couple of the steps that I need to attack before I start doing anything. First, set to properly clean the area, which I did with isopropyl alcohol. Okay, wiped it down. So being that this is a crack and I don't want it to go any further, they recommended drilling a hole to stop the crack from expanding, which makes sense, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a drill bit and I'm going to just drill right here and right here, stop the crack from continuing on. Once that's done, um, I'm going to go ahead and begin to attempt to plastic weld this and see what happens. Okay, so first things first, I bought this welding kit from Hobo Freight, and I saw a lot of videos on YouTube about, you know, welding kits that you can get for like $80-$90. This one was $20 at Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is known for having good quality tools, and a lot of people that I've seen plastic welding the kayak have used this exact welder. So um, and again, it's a Chicago Electric 80-watt iron plastic welding kit. It comes with a welded soldering iron, which is essentially what it is. Okay, with this ironing tip right here. All right, it gets extremely hot. Make sure you're wearing gloves. All right, it comes with these welding rods, which you can use to melt onto the kayak. Obviously, they're not the same color, but at this point, I'm not trying to win any contest at SEMA. Okay, it comes with the screen, so it's like a two-part process. So essentially, what you're gonna do is you're gonna plastic weld. Um, and I've seen videos on this. People have done it different ways, and I think this is the way that I'm gonna go about it. Especially because of where it's located. So because of where the crack is, what I'm gonna end up doing is um, I'm gonna end up plastic welding it, completely sealed. Then I'm gonna put a piece of screen over it, plastic weld over the screen to give it some structure. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some flex tape and I'm gonna put it on the inside of the kayak as well. Um, and I'm gonna let it sit overnight for about 24 hours. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the hose and some water because I don't have any water near me right now. It's like I have to travel like 2.5, 3 hours from where I am to get to some water. And so, I'm gonna do the best I can to test it. Worst case scenario, I get out in the water and the kayak doesn't work. For whatever reason, we'll address that, and I'll end up fishing from the bank. But it is what it is. So that's gonna be my plan. So I'm gonna plastic weld it first, then put the iron mesh, cut a piece over it, then plastic weld it over that. Now the rods that they gave me are the same material that the kayak is made out of, which is HDPE, Hotel Delta Papa Echo. Okay. Um, and so what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna end up using these welding rods that came with it. Okay. Um, but in the event that those rods don't work, I have a bucket from Hobo Freight, which is made out of the same material that the kayak is. Now, these welding rods, they seem like they're the right ones. Okay. And, I can cut strips of the plastic from here, get around here, get like a pair of dikes and cut probably the flat part of this or something to patch it on. It's a weird situation because of where the crack is. More than anything, it's just not ideal. But it's definitely part of the kayak that gets on the water, and I don't want the water getting in there and then having issues. So let's get after it. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. Again, this is a Bonafide SS107. I picked this kayak up earlier this year. Um, and I took it on a water. I absolutely loved the kayak. Made some modifications, added the motor to it, a bunch of other stuff, and I'm gonna still do some modifications and constantly always, upgrading the kayak. That's the plan here. But we're gonna get after it. I'm gonna do a time lapse of the video. I just wanted to make an introduction as to what I was gonna do and how I was gonna go about it, and you know, um, anything that happens in between, and I'm gonna just post a video everywhere, and anything that I learned from it, I am going to let you guys know. So I'm gonna be doing the time lapse on my phone and then recording the actual video as to what it is that I'm doing on the GoPro, and hopefully capture everything for you guys. So without further ado, let's crack open a bang, put on some music. Another thing, make sure you have a fan or some way of cooling the plastic down, and constantly cleaning the plastic tip, which is another thing that I heard. You got to clean the plastic tip. If it starts getting black, you got to make sure you want to keep it as clean as possible, which is why they give you the wire brush. I'm also going to be using a flathead screwdriver to hold the plastic in place, mainly because I don't want to touch the plastic with my hands, my bare hands, even though I'm going to be wearing gloves. So let's get after it. And hopefully on the other side of this, I have a fixed kayak and I can get ready for the 2026 kayak fishing season. So let's get after it. I'll see you guys at the end.